Have you ever considered the power that your words have on others or your actions have on others? Like, think about that for a minute. There's a power to your presence. There's a power to what you do, that butterfly effect you always hear about. You have the power to impact another human being and this world just by existing. Anything that you do or say will have an effect. That's pretty powerful. There's some real power there. If you've been listening to the podcast, to this show, you know how important setting intention for yourself is. But what you don't realize is that your intentions don't actually mean shit to anyone else, right? Because it's the way you show up. It's the way you speak, the way you act. That is what they see, what they feel. The way that your intentions set you up and who you are being, who you are becoming, your existence and what you do in this world. That's what makes the impact. That's what actually matters. It's the energetic frequency that you give off that others are experiencing. Our aura, our existence, our being is an energetic frequency. It's not just intention. That saying the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Well, intentions don't mean shit. You can have the best of intentions. I'm sure this has happened to some of you. I know it's happened to me where I have the best of intentions and then I get distracted or I forget something and people take it extremely personal. Or if I'm late to something, they take it extremely personal, like I didn't care enough to show up on time. Sometimes I just get so wrapped up in my head. It honestly had no reflection on them. If anything, it's a reflection on me and how messy I'm feeling and where I'm at with my own mindfulness and self-care. But even though my intentions were good, their feelings were still hurt, right? So intention doesn't mean shit without action, because your intention sets you up. But if you don't follow through, if you don't have the determination and the devotion and the dedication to actually see through what you're intending on doing or being or feeling or acting or anything, then it doesn't mean shit. Now that what's created, that there, your energetic frequency, the vibe that you are being, becoming, tuning into, that's what today's episode is going to be on. We're going to tap into energetics and how to harness your own energy in order to manifest more abundance and create the most incredible life. Think of it as travel planning with the universe, but in order to call in all that cosmic cash and shift into your like highest next level version of you. So let's fucking go. All right. Hello, my mystic SiStars, my fellow creative and multi-passionate souls. It's your host here, Jessica Mystic, your favorite starseed motherfucker who's here to cheer you on and love you as you are, all while showing you how to truly tap into you and your energy to make the most of your life, your business through mindful magic and developing good cash habits that are going to help you manifest more money and burn down all that bullshit that's curate that chaos so you can take control of your life again. Because isn't that what it's about? We're all just like little fucking control freaks. Well, let's own our energy and get control of that, shall we? Here we go. Let's dive into my favorite topic. Let's start with schooling you on what the fuck that means. Okay, so when you, like I mentioned, when you walk into a room, your energy says way more about you than you think. It's your confidence, your mood, the way you carry yourself. It is a frequency. We feel that shit. You know when someone's not being sincere because you can feel that frequency. Okay. Your body language, it comes off. Like your frequency feeds the way you say your words, the way you present yourself, the way you hold yourself, the way you choosing what you want to wear, choosing what you want to eat, choosing how you want to think, feel, exist, all comes from the energetics of your frequency and your energetic being. Okay. Ways to boost your energetics. So if you feel like you're really, let's just take it back here. So your energetics, how you operate, how you set up yourself and work with your energy day to day, the relationships you have with people, the energy you put in or what you receive Your entire existence is energetics, and energy is magic. Magic is everywhere, and you're probably going to hear people using snowblowers in the background while I'm recording this, because there is a window right here that faces the sidewalk and it's really fucking cold out and super fucking snowy. So yeah, that's happening. Energetics is, well, this is why we do our weekly energy assessments, because of course, when we do these weekly check-ins and we anchor into the feeling of what are we feeling? Are we feeling like we're functioning all right? Are we feeling really activated and like full of wonder and ready to go? Are we feeling heavy? Are we feeling frazzled? Are we feeling frenzied? Because that is energetics. The feelings that you are experiencing that are contributing the way that you operate is energy. It's energetics. So if you're feeling frazzled and you're feeling frenzied and you're feeling chaotic, your energy's off. Your shit's all over the place. There's just static. Like, that's not working for you. We need to clear that shit up. So energetics, think of it as like the frequency you're dialing into. How you carry yourself. Okay, here's some main pillars of energetics. How you carry yourself. So when you're walking the kids to school, or you're walking in the grocery store and you're getting shit done, I want you to start realizing and taking note of how you're carrying yourself. I often will kind of be rounded forward. My shoulders are kind of hunched and my neck is kind of forward. Bad habit. We're always on our phones, screens, but really your posture is relating to where your energy's at. Like when I'm really stressed out and my folded shoulders are forward and I'm feeling kind of closed, you're closing yourself off. You're trying to keep your heart safe. So often we need to be reminded to put our shoulders back, and this posture, our head up, head back. We're so forward and immersed in, like, we used to pushing ourselves and leaning in, we forget to lean back because our energetic balance is off. Lean back, chin in, neck back, correct your posture, shoulders back. I'm not saying your posture has to be perfect, but when you do it, feel those stretch. When you stretch and release into it, just like I'm doing right now. Here on YouTube, you can see me doing all kinds of weird movements. But release that, and even taking a moment to just, like, that like confidence, like tits up. I mean, mine don't go any higher because I've had kids and there's no bra on today. You're welcome, YouTube followers. If your posture is off and you're feeling guarded, I want you to take note and just practice. You don't need to be perfect. Just pull your shoulders back, put your chin up, tits up, chin up, and give yourself a little more confidence in what you're doing. Strut your stuff. Sometimes I'll just like randomly just start fucking strutting my stuff. Find my swagger, feel in a vibe, boost your energetics with little movements and little actions like that. Tell yourself, no, I don't want to be, this isn't where I want to be. This isn't me. I want to be up here. I want to feel this way. I want to carry myself this way. And the more you do that and anchor into that feeling, that power pose, I'm sure you've seen, I don't know, like even Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy, when they do the superhero pose before surgery, there's truth to that. You expanding, opening, allowing yourself to be and take up space. You don't need to hide anymore. I know you've gone through years of feeling like the underdog and the outcast, and it's safe to kind of hide away and curl into your shell and just stay in your space, stay in your corner, put that mask on, take that shit off and show the world who the fuck you are. Own your energy. Where you place your energy is where you place your power. I have said that before and I will say it again. Taking care of yourself and your energy is what is going to empower you to continue to show up and become the person you are meant to be. Speaking of your body, we should really tap into how the energetics of our health and how it affects our wealth. That could be a whole other episode right there. But what we consume adds to our energy, because as human beings, we need to eat food as a form of fuel in order to operate, to get energy to do things, right? Like if you're starving and hungry or whatever. So I want you to think not just about, we're not getting into diet, I'm not going to delve super into the health as well. I will make that another episode, but I want you to think about how you consume foods and what you're choosing to consume. What are you putting into your body? I'm not shaming you because I mean, I like my fucking sweets. Okay. I am not carb free. No shame. But I need to be mindful, for example, on how am I setting myself up in my day? Am I reaching? I don't consume caffeine anymore, to be brutally honest. But I used to back in the day, like I would reach for coffee before I would reach for water. And it's just like right now, one of my biggest struggles, I'll reach for something sweet and sugary for a quick energy hit, quick boost. But am I setting myself up for a quick hit and a crash later? Like, is that the energy I want to operate in? No. I want to, when I have a decaf Nespresso, because I love my Nespresso, shout out to Nespresso. I'll have my decaf Nespresso with use the Arancino with my steamed vanilla, sweetened. Yes, it's sweetened. There's some sugar in it. Almond milk. And I'll make my latte. But I used to get up and that would be what I reached for every morning. And it was caffeine free. So I didn't need the caffeine hit. But why did I want that first? Because it was comforting and it was warm. So the energy I was going into was waking up and getting comfortable right away, which actually made me less efficient because I was waking up and immediately going into like, I want to be comfy and warm and I want to sit here. And sometimes I might need that. Sometimes my beverage is like a little hug if I've had a rough night with the kids, or if I'm on my period and I just feel like shit and you want what you want, and you're like, whatever, this is what I want. This is my comfort drink right now. And that's what I need to start today with. That's okay. But that's the energy that you're reaching for. That's the energetics I'm operating in. That's how I'm setting my day up. Whereas today, I went to reach for my coffee, went, no, I need to consume more water. So instead, I grabbed my cup, I drank some water, and then I made happy juice because it tastes really yummy and sweet, but there's no sugar in it, and it's good for me. So I wanted to start my day without setting myself up with sugars for a quick hit and a crash. I wanted to set myself up saying, I am starting my day by taking care of myself and my body in some way. Something very small, as simple as drinking a little bit of water, making a happy juice. Once I've gotten got that, well, it's just my drinks. I have a lot of drinks. I have like support drinks, my water, my happy juice. Then I make my latte so I can enjoy that afterwards. My latte, typically I like to make now after I've dropped the kids off at school. Why? Because I get up, I take care of myself, I take care of my body, and then I get my family ready. I take care of them, I get them dressed and out the door and into school. And then when I come home, it's like a reward. It's like, okay, now I have a quiet moment after I've successfully done my morning mom duties. Now I can sit down and enjoy this latte. I'm not just trying to like get it into me, because I had a habit of like making something good, consuming it super fast and moving on. I wasn't even enjoying it. What's the point of that? So what is the energy that you're operating in when you're putting things into your body? Are you eating for the sake of eating? Like you got to eat something because you forgot? Because I do that too. Where you're like, what is good for me right now? Here's some nuts. I even have like some nuts on the side here. Or it's like, you're not even eating for taste. You're just eating for nutrients. That's fine. But like, there's ways that we consume our foods, consume our content, consume anything in this world. What we consume adds to the energetics and how we're showing up. So becoming mindful of these patterns and what you're reaching for and what you want your energy to be that day is going to really help set up how you operate and carry yourself and who you are becoming. And if you want to be this well-led, respected CEO or beauty business owner, if you want to be one of the best in your area, you want to stand out against the competition, people to see, you want to be who you are and not what others think you should be, then start making those choices that set you up in alignment with your energy and what you want your energy to be seen, felt, experienced by others in the world. Another way you can really tap into like different level of energetics would be the energy of giving and receiving. So we've talked about consuming, we've talked about how we carry ourselves, but something as simple as giving and receiving, whether it's like a thinking of you message or commenting on posts and liking posts on social media, thank you cards for your clients, handwritten cards, thanking, maybe even giving gifts to those who are regulars or spent a lot of money with you in your business, sharing content, reposting, referrals, recommendations, writing reviews. The law of attraction. Everyone knows or has heard in some way the law of attraction. What we think and feel is what's more what you feel, but what you think and feel is what you manifest. That law of attraction, where you anchor your energy, is where you place your energy, is where you place your power. Where you anchor your energy in is what you're calling back to you. And it's same with that law. I can never say it. It's the law of reciprocity, like to receive, to reciprocate. The law of reciprocation is what I would like to call it, but I think it's the law of reciprocity. The same goes for receiving. You have the attraction and the receiving, the giving and the getting. So now you don't just want to give with the expectation of getting, because then the undertone is not actually out of true abundance or blessing someone with your gratitude, grace, kindness, and actual wanting to give from the bottom of your heart like a good person. But when we give, especially when we give without being asked, like when we give a review, or if you send, especially for permanent makeup artists, if someone sends you photos of the healing process with like, instead of, we always want that, but we don't want to like nag them for it unless they're a model, and that's what part of the deal was. But when you get a review or someone messages you saying, oh my God, I'm so in love with my brows, thank you so much, does that not make you feel good? Doesn't that make you feel fucking great? Or if you made a piece of artwork or someone bought a piece of art off you, or if you created something for someone else and you get a message, or you see someone using it or admiring it, or you see it up in their home, if it was a picture you've made for them, whatever it may be, when you see someone using and appreciating something that you've given to them, that feels good. That's good energy. So if you enjoy receiving that, I need you to think about how you can give that to others too, because if you want to receive more of that, naturally through the law of attraction and reciprocating, you will receive that back when you give. But I want you to understand, be prepared to give tenfold what you're going to receive, especially on social media. You got to comment like 10, 20 comments before you can get one back. But I want you to think more of like energetically, what can you give and how can you act and how can you show the universe the energy that you're carrying and expanding, and how you're setting up yourself and your energetics in order to attract more of that likeness to you. Right? So, and like, if a prime example, something as simple as listening to an episode of a podcast like this one. If you're listening to this podcast or this episode, if you go on Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star review, one thing that I do is I offer a gift of appreciation. So if you are to go on Apple Podcasts and leave a review for this podcast, make sure you leave your Instagram handle, or you can take a screenshot and email hello@jessicamystic.com, and you will receive a free digital copy of my Beauty Biz Magic Planner. And this planner will help you set up your self-declarations and your weekly intentions and your daily devotions so you can continue to show up in your best energy as your best self. And you can also buy the planner on Amazon, but it's some way of me thanking you for providing me with that blessing and giving that review. Go on Google and write a review for another local business or another artist. Or if you don't want it to be public on a profile, especially for clients, if you've had paramedical aesthetics or something done, you can simply text or email your service provider or massage therapist, anybody, you can text or email them just a written testimonial thanking them. Better yet, give them permission to share that. Most will, if you don't want your name in there, but let people know how you have been positively impacted by their existence, by their gifts, by their ability to help you. And you will get the same in return. Because that's the vibe. It costs you nothing. But it sure as shit feels good. And it attracts more of what you want to you. So why the fuck not? That's the real question. Why don't you give more if you want to receive more? Why wouldn't you? Just be a good giving person. But please be sincere, because it doesn't fucking work if you're trying to cheat the system. That's not how that shit works. You can't just farm for your karma bank. Don't work that way. Something as simple as a basic compliment. Like there is evidence that gratitude and praise has a mood lifting effect on other human beings. It contributes to their well-being. It contributes to people's healing process. It can actually alter our DNA. Everybody benefits, givers and receivers alike. So why the fuck wouldn't you? It sounds weird when I say givers and receivers alike, but whatever. Just givers and receivers both benefit. It's mutual. Like, get on that shit. Get in the vibe of giving compliments. When someone walks past you on the street and like, I don't know about everywhere, but in Canada, it's almost like an obligation. You should smile at someone that walks past you on the street or say sorry if you bump into them or feel like you're in their way. But when you go to smile, or instead of trying to avoid eye contact or anything, I want you to look that person in the eye and compliment something about them. Anything. I love that jacket. I love that shirt you're wearing. I love your hair today. When you make a small remark like that, whether you're in like a coffee store lineup, you're in the grocery store, complimenting someone in some way can really be the one thing that they needed that day. You can make a world of difference by saying one kind word to somebody. Give the gift of compliments. Share a compliment. Share a review. Share a testimonial. Refer somebody. Compliment people without them knowing you're in their presence. Speak well of others. If you want to get more business, like ways you can compliment other people in business and grow your audience organically through actually being a good fucking person and having a heart, invite people to have live conversations with you. You can go live. You can invite them to be a collaborator on a service, a bundle, a product, or even just social media collaborating on a live or a conversation or an event. Contribute to groups and containers, whether it's Facebook groups or coaching groups. Like, this is what I've really loved about the groups and masterminds that I've been a part in the past couple of years. The more I contribute, it not only helps me, because obviously, like, participation and action are the key to getting results or anything out of any program or group or membership or coaching, whatever. But when you show up and you contribute, you are inviting others to contribute alongside you, to be seen, to be heard, to feel like they're not alone, to see where you're at, invites them to share where they're at, it invites them to come out of their shell. You can give people the gift of feeling safe to be themselves by showing up as yourself too. We need that because we are so in our fucking heads. We are so concerned about the way we look, the way we act, the way we come off. If we're too much, too little, too loud, too quiet, too crazy. Invite others. This is why I made this podcast. So you could understand you're not alone. And that's why I've been working so hard creating the sorority sisterhood. The sorority sisterhood is the community membership. It is an opportunity to have the safe space for us to show up and share our stories, share our struggles, learn how to move through the messiness and the mayhem of trying to figure it all out on our own. Like, it's so fucking hard. Shit gets hard sometimes, and it needs to be normalized. It needs to be okay. Give people the gift of holding space and acceptance just to be seen. That's what I'm doing with this membership. I'm giving the gift of safety, of community. Which, by the way, is on pre-sale right now. You can actually sign up. There's two options. We have a quarterly option and annual option. So if you sign up right now, quarterly is $333, so that works out to $111 a month because we're all about angel numbers here and this shit is divine. Or you can do the annual option. You can have that all-in energy, set yourself up with the intention of getting through this year, anchoring into yourself, who you are, growing your network, your community, and getting the guidance that you need to get more mindful and create those cash habits so you can start seeing that growth and that gain in your business, in your life, and how you operate. So right now, if you want to commit for the full year, I have an incredible promo where you actually get 3 months free. So this works out to like only like $84 a month or something, because you can get the entire year for $9.99. So go ahead. The link is in my bio. You can get in now for that pre-sale rate. And I will also, because I'm all about gifts. And for those that are jumping in, this is a new community membership that I'm super, but because it's new, another way that I want to thank you with this gift, with your gift of joining, with the gift of you jumping in and being present, I want to gift you also my free content creation for creatives course, where we break it down so you don't need to overthink it and you don't need to feel like you're being, forced to show up or perform in social media. So you can show up as your best self in your best energy, and making it easier so that you can use your energy to create and do all the fun shit that you want to rather than have to. Because again, we're not in the energy making that shit work. So you can go ahead. The link's in the bottom of my show notes or in the description if you're on YouTube. So you can check that out there. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram. I would love to chat with you. Who you are and how you want to work can differ so much from like the normies or the like normal societal expectations or job descriptions out there. Like, we aren't meant to think and learn and operate in the way that we were in school. This is why we always felt like something is wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need to learn where to focus and where to recalibrate that chaos and create good habits for yourself, for your life, so you can carry that on into your business and how you operate and provide for yourself and your family and make impact in this world. You can do that simply by showing up, how you present yourself, your energetics, participation in this existence. Making sense of all this nonsense is a process, to say the least. And for some of you have been listening or over consuming all the content, or maybe you're fixated on certain leaders out there and you just can't understand why you can't get it right. And you're trying to figure out all the how-tos and the what-to-dos, and you've been doing this for so long that you don't even want to know or even want to do it anymore. Yet you're so conflicted because you're too stubborn and ashamed to throw in the towel and just give it all up. Like, it has to be for something. It can't all be for nothing. This energy of like this manic, messy energy is still a part of your energetics. And when you get into this then feeds the self-doubt and the spiral, not enoughness. And you want to hide and you curl in and you cave in and it's heavy. And then you're not aligned with your I don't, it's like you're aligned with your truest self, but it's true. If you're not in alignment with where you want to go and what you want to achieve and who you want to be, you just keep feeling like you're falling behind. These intense doubts and feelings of failure need to be normalized. It's okay to feel this way. They can grow into such a dark, like all-consuming, it's like a disease, a Great Depression. Like, it just eats away at your soul and it poisons our passions, and we get trapped in like this resistance. And that's why we all feel like there's some kind of block, and a lot of people are like, I don't know what it is, because it's you, it's your energy, it's who you are, where you're at right now is blocking you, and you have to learn to work through it. Seeing other people struggle. So when you show the fuck up and you speak your truth and you're honest and you share with the world, and you share, and maybe not the whole world, maybe it's just in a Facebook group or you're in a container that you're in, and your social media posts or your stories, when you show up and you share and you give the gift of space and expression and acceptance, when you watch others succeed and rise out of this shit, it inspires you to do the same. And then by you doing that, you're inspiring others to do the same. And it shows other people that it's possible for them too. I get it. I was there. I used to get really triggered, actually. I used to get really triggered by seeing other people succeeding in a certain way. Like, why can't that be me? Why am I not making millions at? Why am I don't even have my books full yet. I remember when I started paramedical, like, shout out to Jody Stosky, because she was a huge inspiration for me when I left the tattoo world and got into paramedical tattooing, I'd be like, how can she have a clinic and be so great at this? And like, no one even knows what it is. And I don't even know how to do this. Well, I could have just sat there and be like, well, she's already doing it. She's in Calgary, 4 hours away from me. Why the fuck should I try? But she's also a cancer survivor. She also built her business from being like a makeup artist and then built into paramedical and then was teaching and training. So if she can do that, why can't I? I can do that too. So instead of being triggered and jealous by her, I was inspired. I aspired. And then a lot of other people along the way, same thing. All the coaches I've worked with and at some point in some way triggered something in me. And then I had to sit with that and be like, what is it about their energy that's making me feel prickly? Why is mine so defensive? Right? Where do I need to make the change in order to be that? What is it about their energy that's different than mine? And what works for me? Because sometimes you try shit that other people are doing, doesn't work for you. Again, your energetics. What is the intention? Are you forcing it? Are you making it work? Because we know we're not about that. Because that is what you're envious of. It's instead of the immediate defense, you got to work through the dread, work through the release, work through the inadequacy. Stop hiding away and trying to figure out your feelings alone. Like that's what therapy is really good for. Like I'm not trying to say I'm your therapist and I can figure it all out for you. I'm very intuitive and I can genuinely open people up and activate them to move forward and move through things. But like, if you need a therapist, go to therapy. If you need a coach, get a coach. If you need a friend, talk to a friend. Whatever it is that you need, seek it out. Because if that's the energy you need to be in, go be in that energy. But you need to show up. And my point here, rambling, the point here, the more you're seen, the more you inspire others to do the same. So in turn, how you lead yourself to show up and how you lead yourself in a space is then signaling to others what they can do too. You're making that suggestion that they might not have understood before. And that's how you can get clients also to take the initiative to move and book with you, because some people are stuck. They don't know if they really want it for themselves. They don't know if they want it because someone else has it. They don't know if they should get it or if their husband's going to like if they get that tattoo, if they get their eyebrows done. And they need to figure out what it is they want for themselves. So when you show up in your energy, in your authentic energetics, and you show up as you are and present yourself in a certain way, you aspire other people to do the same thing, right? There's so much in your head that you need to get out. And sometimes we get stuck because we can't see the big picture. We're already in it. Like we're one of the puzzle pieces in this giant thing we're building. So when you have someone see you going through stuff and they can make recommendations and help you through it, like that's what I get deep into when I'm working with private clients, is people feel these blockages in their energetics and they feel stuck and they feel lost because they just don't know how to get this big, like they feel like a lost puzzle piece, like they're doomed, like the big picture is never going to be complete for them. But we get deep into the actual energetics behind it. Like strategy doesn't mean shit if you don't work through this stuff. And if you don't actually make an effort to stop feeling a victim to your circumstances, you need to take responsibility for your energy, for your energetics, and you need to do the work so you can get through that resistance and tap into that feeling of something blocking you is your energy that you need to learn how to move. And if it's not moving, there's a reason. There's too much shit piled on top, keeping it stuck, or it's scary and you don't have the courage to move through because of all the stories again piling up, making you feel stuck. There's a reason you have this block, and we're holding on to it because we're the ones that are letting that block sit there. It doesn't just magically appear and we're like, oh shit, we're fucked. That's not how it works. You need to take responsibility to make an effort to move that shit, break it down, and get it the fuck out of the way. You got to clean up. You got to clean up your energy. You got to make way for that, for abundance to flow through you again, for inspiration to flow, for energy to be in constant movement. You got to complete the fucking circuit, right? A light bulb doesn't turn on if the circuit's blocked. Like, be the light. Fucking, you gotta light that shit up. You gotta plug that shit in. Okay. And this is why we get into the why and the story. And the energy work is the only way to unblock those kinds of hurdles. So You need to really be mindful of your energy and lead by example. Lead by example. Own up, be in your energy, and lead with love. Love yourself. I love you. And where you're at is okay. You might be low energy someday, high energy, but all the things that you do, the way that you operate, what you're thinking right now, are you frustrated? Do you feel attacked? Do you feel inspired? Are you activated? Are you excited? Whatever you're feeling right now, I want you to notice your response to things that you do, the way you walk, the way you move, the way you talk, the way you operate, and start getting mindful of how you can curate your days and how you operate to benefit your energetic existence, your energetic being. You need to learn how to recharge and refuel and manage your own battery so that you can continue to move forward towards this life that you want for yourself, towards hitting all those goals, making that money, having those clients come book with you, establishing deeper connections, friendships, growing your network. All of that is possible for you. Much love, many blessings. Until next week.